Hello and welcome to Watchworthy. I'm your co-host, Miss Chris D.
And it's your boy, Brother Ash.
And this is episode 25. We're talking about the Netflix documentary, What Jennifer Did.
Woohoo, for episode 25.
Episode 25,
yeah.
Wow. If you guys like what you hear today, make sure you subscribe, like us, rate, review, all that good stuff. We love to hear from you guys. And let us know what documentaries you're watching and what we should do next.
Yeah.
So this documentary just came out in 2024, but I actually heard this story before. If you guys haven't noticed by now, I'm into true crime, so I also listen to true crime podcasts.
I think our followers are too. We always get the most engagement with the true crime.
Exactly. Like, I just love, I don't want to say I love crime, but I just love getting to the bottom of it, the psychology behind it.
I love crime.
Yeah, we are, was that the Batman voice? So, I've heard the story before. It's been covered on many podcasts. It's all about Jennifer Pan. Is that how you say the last name?
Yeah.
Pan?
No, it was Pan.
Okay, Pan. Sure. But yeah, obviously this is like a really controversial criminal case. And this is like years past now, but the documentary just came out on Netflix. So I'm just going to let Brother Ash take it away.
Word. Yeah, we definitely got a good one for y'all for episode 25. So boom. Set the scene. It's 2010 in Markham, Ontario. So this story takes place in Canada, which is different.
Yeah.
You don't hear about a lot of crazy stuff going on in Canada.
Right.
So the town is diverse and has a typically low crime rate, right? Like suspected. Big Pan is mom and Han Pan dad are Vietnamese immigrants. And they have a daughter named Jennifer. Guess they said American name for the firstborn child.
And that's the thing, red flag, I guess, that immigrants, kind of have to fit in, work twice as hard, change their name.
Do they have to, though?
Yes.
Maybe in 2010, though? Like, you could have named your daughter something.
No, Josh.
Yeah?
We're talking about America. Let's move on, because that's not the point of the story.
Okay.
But yeah, red flag for me that immigrants, they were targeted in this story.
Okay. I'll leave that alone. So one night, Jennifer calls 911 crying that people have broken into the house and attacked her parents. So yeah, first red flag, because that's crazy. Like, because I'm hearing the fear in her voice. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy that I couldn't imagine somebody doing this in my home when I was in high school.
Right.
So police find Big Pan shot and killed. Han Pan had been shot and is in a coma. Jennifer's unharmed, right?
That would be the red flag for me. I'm sorry, but immediately I'm like, your mom was shot and killed. Your dad was shot and is barely holding on in the hospital, but you don't even have a scratch on you?
Well, maybe the guys that broke into the house like, we're criminals, we break into homes and we shoot people, but we don't hurt kids.
What kind of criminals have a conscience? I don't think so.
Most of them do, for real. You'd be surprised to believe. So in her first interview with police, Jennifer says that her mom made dinner before heading to the line dance. She had like a little line dance class she was going to.
It was a Monday night, they said.
Yeah, regular Monday night in Markham. So Jennifer says she took dinner to her room and watched TV, didn't really hear anything, right?
Red flag.
Red flag.
I don't know about you guys, but I can hear everything around my house. Maybe my houses haven't been that big. I did live in like a more ranch style house before.
This is why family dinners are necessary.
Yeah.
Everybody would have been at the table at the same time.
Yeah.
So, all right, boom. So, Jennifer says around 9:30 p.m., a guy with a gun barges into her room and then ties her up to the banister by the top of the stairs, okay? Then she says 3 men total. They were black and one had like a Jamaican accent. Red flag
for me, because I don't know, when any other race just automatically says they were black guys. I'm like, we know that black men are usually, named.
Stereotype,
falsely accused, named in a crime when it wasn't them. So, I mean, it could be, but like you said, this is a place that's never seen any homicides like this before. So why would 3 black guys just think, let's go target these Vietnamese people?
Well, shit, they must have learned something from America.
Yeah.
Blame the brothers.
Terrible.
So she wasn't sure at the time how they got into the house. Obviously, I feel like if you knew, then I just feel like that was like an obvious thing to say. Like, I wasn't even sure how they got in. Like, why would you fucking know? unless you saw it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like the more and more you watch stuff, and then you find out what really happened, you just kind of notice like where people are like, like there's flaws in their story. I would say.
Well, I think that's something that you and I do, babe. I feel like when we watch documentaries together, I'm like, who you think did it?
Yeah.
So the whole time I'm like, oh, maybe it was the dad, because why he got shot but didn't die, or maybe it was like the thing she was saying. Like you want to believe that she is, a victim in all this, but some things are just still not fitting together yet.
Word. And that's fucked up because I always think the person that like gets shot and survive, Loki has something to do with it.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. But so at the crime scene, police could hear, they could see at least where Bick was soaking her feet on the couch after the line dance class.
I think that's important because it shows like, okay, she did go to the class and come back home.
Yeah, but she was home. She had got settled because you ain't just come home if you already soaking your feet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like. So Jennifer then tells that she could hear her parents downstairs, and the men kept pushing her mom down into the chair looking for like her purse, asking for money. So the last thing Jennifer heard apparently was the men say, you lied to us, before she heard her parents get shot.
Yeah, red flag there.
Cause like, what the fuck did they lie about?
When she said that, I was like, she said they specifically said it to her father. So I was like, okay, she's pointing the blame on her father. Like her father must have set this up because why would they say that?
Yeah. So
this is a true story, y'all, by the way. This is not a movie. This is somebody's real life.
It definitely threw me off. The Pan family had a Mercedes, nice, and a Lexus. Couldn't afford a car, so she named the daughter Alexis. Not them. She copped the real thing. But they were left untouched in the garage. No valuables taken. So, all right.
Red flag, please.
Red flag.
You're not going to shoot and kill somebody and not take anything valuable.
Because I promise you,
it's not a robbery.
I've never broken into a home before and robbed the family and shot people. But if I did, and I was upset that somebody lied to me about money or something not being there, I would definitely get the Mercedes Benz.
Oh yeah, they were asking like if the dad had gambling debt, and the answer was no.
Yeah, so I'm like, why wouldn't they take the car? Like, why wouldn't they?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, do something if they this level of criminal. You feel me? Like,
right.
So, Detective David McDonald said, he was the field investigator on the case, and he soon learned that Jennifer had a drug dealer ex-boyfriend named Daniel Wong. Red flag.
Yeah,
whenever, no offense to the drug dealers out there, but not a good look when you're somebody's boyfriend whose parents just got killed.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They always point to the boyfriend or the husband,
Yeah, so that's unfortunate for him to be the little weed man around Markham. Unless he was doing more, major stuff. But Danny claims he was at home sleeping on the night of the murder. Perfect alibi. Says he and Jen dated for about 6 to 7 years. Red flag.
How's that a red flag?
Well, because like she's only like what, 16?
No, Josh, she was 24.
Oh, okay.
Remember the whole fake college thing?
That's right. I don't know why I'm thinking like she's like in high school.
No. So because it was 2010, we were in high school.
Oh, okay. So it's like 6 to 7 years of them dating, starting in high school.
Yeah.
I should have just kept reading. But it ended 2 years prior to that. So like besides that, he had already moved on apparently to a new girlfriend. Her name was Christine, not to be confused with Christina.
Thanks. Well, that's why when he said that, I was like, okay, maybe he genuinely has nothing to do with this. Like there's no motive, there's no revenge. Like he's not out to get her parents. Like he already moved on.
Yeah, so that was something that went well for him at least. Already moving on. Danny says he and Jennifer were just friends now. And that they were both receiving hundreds of harassing texts recently. One saying bang, bang, bang.
So red flag, like now he's telling the cops that we were both getting these harassing texts and somebody said bang, 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 and now your parents are dead. So maybe it's the person who texted y'all.
Yeah, it's still weird though, because it's like, what is like, who does that? Like bang, bang, bang? Like what type of...
I don't know.
That can mean anything. Like
nothing
I think
in
of
this
John
case
Witherspoon.
is correct. So
if somebody texts me bang bang bang, I think of Pops like from Friday, like bang bang bang. You feel me? Like
no, I don't think that's.
I probably would have like sent back a laughing emoji for real. So
Oh my God.
Jennifer's parents were strict. So when she dated, Danny, they wasn't having that. You feel it's Alexis in the driveway, bro. You can't date my daughter. So it was without their consent, which caused tension, and ultimately they made them break up. So Nam was a high school friend of Jennifer's, NAM, who was featured in the doc and said that there was always drama between Danny and Jennifer. So kind of like most young relationships, but maybe a little bit more.
That's why going back
drama.
to the whole immigrant situation, I just feel like it is tough on immigrants because first of all, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're Vietnamese in their case, or if you're Mexican, people are always looking at you like, go back to your country. Yeah, people say that to black people too. But as a Vietnamese person who they were first generation, they didn't speak any English probably. And Jennifer was the high school Americanized student that they were trying to push through this world and make a better life. They didn't have time for no games. They didn't have time for no Dannies.
Yeah, and I feel you. Danny was also Asian as well. I didn't know if he was Vietnamese or not, but so maybe he
was one of those low lifes to them.
Yeah, there's low lives in every race. You feel me? It ain't just he just wasn't a great guy.
Thank God she didn't bring home a black boy.
Well, maybe they would have been receptive. What if the black boy was like,
I don't think
at the top of the class? You feel me? Like, I don't know. Some Asian families don't be like as judgmental as.
But it was clear Jennifer's parents were very strict.
They were kind of sticklers, I guess. So with this info, the cops had to interview not Danny. They interviewed Jen again on the day 4 of the investigation. So now it's 4 days after, or the initial killing.
Red flag for me because I just feel like why is it taking so long to piece together? I don't know. To me, it was kind of obvious, but yeah. I guess you have to do your due diligence as a police officer.
I guess so, but like we kind of seen something early in this and was like, oh, well, that incriminates the heck out of this person, and then they didn't like discover this until like day 5 or something in the interview process. And I'm like, damn, babe, we should have been on the case. But everybody probably says that. So she says her dad was the main one against her having a boyfriend. Told her to choose family or her boyfriend. Jennifer says she chose family. After that, obviously you should. After that, her parents took her phone and drove her everywhere, helicopter, parenting style to the max, just to keep an eye on her. The Pans also put thousands of dollars into Jen's piano career and wanted her to become a pharmacist.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, this is kind of, no offense to no Asian families, but this definitely does sound like the typical. Yeah, we moved to the States. You're going to be a phenom on the piano. And you're going to an Ivy League school. You'll be a pharmacist before,
like you said,
before
it's
you're
not
30.
Just Asian culture. It's a lot of immigrant culture.
Yeah,
we know some of our African friends who've had that pressure.
Hell yeah. It's like that's just the dream that you tell your kids when you move to America.
Yeah.
Not really a dream though. More of like this is what
there
it is.
There is no American dream. Like, but let's get back to the documentary.
So it turns out that Jennifer wasn't an exceptional student. So she lied to her parents about going to college.
Red flag.
Red flag.
So at this point,
because I'm like, how are you these like helicopter parents super hard on your daughter, but you don't realize she's not in college?
No, for me, it was just like it took to day 4 for her to start opening up and be like, well, I did lie to my parents about going to university.
And
like,
police
what?
said that. They like, well, damn, if you lied to your parents about going to college, what are you lying to us about? You met me an hour ago. These are your fucking parents. Like, so they would drive her to Toronto for class.
That's crazy.
This is why I was so confused. But she wasn't going to. What the fuck was she doing out there?
It was just like shit university. They dropped them off like, all right, see you later.
Yo, these people on these documentaries be like, they be so creative with what they do. So she lied for 4 years to her family, and even photoshopped a degree.
Wow.
How did she finesse the graduation though?
No, she didn't. I think it was all coming to a head.
Oh, okay.
Like,
because I'm about to say, there's no way you're my firstborn.
Here's my degree, and the truth is,
you're not my firstborn immigrant child, and you actually graduate, and I'm not at the graduation.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Yeah, you're right. They definitely caught on.
Yeah.
So as you said, we're here because Jennifer's parents got shot. So we are learning more about your family history, and it turns out that you guys were not the picture perfect immigrant family, loved each other, you know. So they really want to talk about why was Jennifer unharmed. I'm like, thank you. Finally in the documentary, they're getting to what I'm saying. Like, how was you tied up with your hands behind your back, but you called 911, but you don't have a scratch on you? Like, it don't make sense. It's not adding up. So one thing was proven factual. 3 people did enter her house and 3 people did exit her house. There was security footage from a house across the street. That's why people be having these Ring cameras and stuff. I need to get one. And they said that they were only in there for about 30 minutes from this tape. And they did leave in a hurry, obviously, because they shot somebody. So that did prove to be true. So we're like, okay, there are 3 suspects out there. But still, why? What's the motive? There's nothing's adding up here. So they asked Jennifer, go ahead and demonstrate for us how you were tied up. And I just knew she was going to get caught in this moment because I'm just like, sis, there's no way that you were tied with your hands behind your back, but also tied to the banister, but you called 911. She somehow did it. She showed them. I mean, her hands weren't really tied up, though. That's the problem. I can flick my wrist like this.
And it wasn't a real
not tied
banister.
up.
Like,
yeah.
They just had her stand up and do it on air type shit.
Yeah. So she basically put her hands behind her back and she showed that, like, she took her cell phone out her back pocket and, like, held it to the side and, like, was on speakerphone to call 911. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. Red flag. There's no way.
Just lying. You're just lying.
You're lying now. So they push her a little more and they learned that her parents had found out about her not going to college after she told the police, my parents didn't know. So there's a little motive. There's a red flag there. It was a very sloppy explanation. Like, you could tell from her body language and her tone, like in the interrogation video, there's something not right here. She was like, well, I guess my parents were kind of mean. But, I mean, I chose them over Danny.
You tell one lie,
yeah,
you got to tell another lie to cover up that lie.
Yeah, it was just not looking right to me. So, right on time, Jennifer's dad, Han, comes out of his coma. I'm like, yes, go to the dad immediately and ask him who shot you, what happened. So, they go to the hospital, and he had been shot in the eye. Thank God it missed his brain. Like, thank God. So he tells his story. He said he went to bed that night at 8:30 p.m. He was woken up by these men and he heard his hysterical wife already downstairs. So he's like, oh my God, what's going on?
Wow.
And then Han says they were pistol whipped and he saw Jennifer come downstairs with one of the men untied and having a chill conversation.
Just shooting the breeze.
Red flag. So your dad remembers that you were not tied up. You were not in hysterics like them. You actually acted like you knew the guy.
Yeah.
So Han begged the police. Imagine your own parents turning against you like this. But you fucking turned against me. You got me shot. Han said, use your police techniques to find out what Jennifer did.
He basically told Superman, hey, yo, be Superman.
Do whatever you have to do.
And save the fucking day. Because my daughter has lost her fucking mind.
After everything that they did for her ungrateful ass, I definitely think he was on some like, oh, F you type time. Like, I don't have a daughter anymore.
First of all, if you lie to me, because somebody was paying some tuition.
Oh, yeah. She said that they were like, so did your parents have an insurance policy? So, trying to see if that was the motive. She was like, yeah, actually, they used part of it to pay for my college. Or they thought they did. Maybe they were super trusting and she was like, hey guys, I need a check. You remember when you would go to your parents like, oh, I need my room and board check for $500. They'd be like, okay, here you go.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I don't know how that
I would
worked
just
out.
Assume that it's a lot more checks that got to be passed.
That's what I'm saying, red flag, because going back to that huge lie, I still feel like we didn't get all the tea on that. As a parent, I would be like, hey, how are your classes going? Can I see your syllabus? What's going on this year?
You lie to me about going to college for 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
You can go find a place to live.
Yeah, she was like 23, 24 at the time.
Do whatever you was doing for the past 4 years, continue to do that, but now you're going to do it
without my money.
With your money.
Yeah.
That's how that's going to go.
That was crazy.
Love you, but get the fuck out of my house.
So the cops are like, all right, we need a third interview with Jennifer. This is like day 9. They finally get into the root of it. And so this really was paramount to the case. This really cracked the case open. They had a detective who was like very good at like detecting lies. I want to be one of those people. Like, he's lying.
Yeah.
So, no, that just made me think about the show Found, I think it's called, on NBC.
Oh, yeah.
With the black lady. And she has like a white sidekick and she's like, I can tell when they're lying. She's lying.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I want to be that good. I'm too gullible. I can't. Can you read Poker Face or no?
I can read people like a book.
So you knew early on Jennifer ain't right. Something wrong with Jennifer.
I know.
So Jennifer admits she had it rough. She cut herself before. She says the men that came into her home that night were supposed to take her instead because she didn't want to live.
I didn't want to live. That's
Stop,
how.
babe.
No, that's how she was acting in the fucking like. She fucking the detective caught her in her bullshit.
She did.
She
saw her with the crocodile
she got
tears.
in the fetal position and started crying.
No,
talking about she don't
you know
wanna
when people
live.
are fake crying, they don't want you to see their face
Yeah.
because there's no tears. She was like,
"Fuck her, man." That's fucked up.
No, literally, you got your parents shot.
Yeah,
I don't
there's
wanna
people
hear
out
it.
here really going through
Yeah,
shit.
I don't
Like,
wanna
and
hear
you out
it.
here getting your parents killed, and now you want to try to say that? No.
Listen, I only sympathize with the fact that immigrant girls, only child, they do have a lot of pressure. But that's not enough to get your parents killed. There's no reason to do that at all.
Yes, no reason. Sorry.
So yeah, I don't care what was going on.
Yeah.
So basically, she was saying like, no, I got these guys to come kill me, but they killed my parents.